Hey, welcome to the Mob. It's Mob Guppy, where the Guppy is the mob. Big greetings out to Tampa Tom. First in the room, then David Samsel, then Anthony's Fishy Friends. How you all doing? It's Benny's Aquatics. How are you? So I had kind of a busy day. I was getting stuff done, and I had to ship out. I just had one shipment, but it was a big one. Bob Kaler's Aquatics. He beat Doug Gray and Chewy. Holy capoli! So, gang, I'm dealing with this aquarium. I'm still having issues with it. Still had a couple more losses. They're not shimmying. The levels are perfect in the aquarium. I put in some general cure. I did a big water change, then the general cure. Hoping everything keeps going in. Added some aquarium salt. Now, a lot of people put salt in their any live bear aquariums. I don't. And has worked pretty well for me. When they're sick, all of a sudden, if I have a tank that has shimmying, occasionally you just get a sick tank, and I may just have to do what I did. Hey, how are you? Yeah, David Gilmore learned much from me. Vinoxky tanks, how are you? I was having a problem with one of before I moved, with one of my aquariums that had the Roebuck Reds in it. And, I couldn't keep them healthy. It was just that one aquarium. I moved them over into a new aquarium, and guess what? They did just fine. So there you go. Yeah, Bob Keeler's here. Biggies, what's up? What's up? Yeah, so, a busy day. I got home from work, packed up the fish. I got new bags from Ken's Fish. And I got the bigger bags because it works well, easier with my specimen container. It worked out well. It worked out well. 2 bags inside inside the medium size thing. It was all good. So I took them over there. I had to order for water stuff. I didn't go with Prime this time. I went with API, to remove chloramines and chlorine and all that junk. So I did with API this time. I know a lot of people go on and on about Prime, and I'm not going to rip anybody, but in some ways, I kind of liked API better when I used, when I went, I went from there. So picked up some API. That arrived at my mailbox, but didn't get here till about an hour ago. And I was already home from work. No desire to go back out. I'll pick it up tomorrow. I don't need it today. And I need to pick up, again, I feed a wide variety of foods. The one food I love to have in my aquarium room is the Ultra Pellets by Cobalt. And I'm just about out of those, so I'm going to have to order more of those. So how's your Monday? So today we're talking about Fishroom secrets. And this is a suggestion for our man Doug Gray. He brought up what I explained in yesterday's video, if you haven't seen it yet, how I age water. Anthony! And so how I age water. It's very simple. I do the big garbage pails. And, I got this idea originally from one of the IFGA guys. But he goes and does it a whole level up. He heats the water and he aerates the water. Just not going to do that. What I would like to do eventually with the house, my house, one of the things I'm going to have to put on it, it doesn't have any gutters. I didn't realize that till I was just about in here. And Doug's always trying to get your secrets. Here's the deal about Fishroom secrets. There aren't any. They really are not any. If you're following the basic work of doing, water changes upon occasion, you're feeding high quality food, you're not overstocking the tanks, you're in pretty good shape. And if you bring new fish into the fish room, make sure that you're, that you quarantine them and treat them with all the good stuff. It's all you need. It's really all you need. Now, we all have different ways we like to do things. And my line is this, is that I like watching videos where I learn other people's secrets, mainly because I can go and say, okay, I'm doing it like this. What if I went and did a little bit differently? What if I add a little bit of an idea this person had? And I do that all the time. Absolutely do that all the time. So the secrets in the fish room. It's like when I'm done with tonight's live stream, every one of my aquariums gets live baby brine shrimp. I slept in yesterday because on Saturday night in my neighborhood, it was like Mogadishu. It was like when I'm saying that there were fireworks going off, I can handle fireworks going off. I swear to you, everybody spent their entire stimulus check on fireworks. The fireworks people in my area got a lot of green, which is good for them. Best tool. And the secret, by the way, of of going in and doing stuff in the fish room is that we all have things that we do. Sometimes I'm admittedly a little bit of a hypochondriac. Anthony saw one firework that was basically more or less a stimulus check. Yeah, now I have some really good news about my dog. Bolo, since he's old and deaf, didn't hear a thing. He was just sleeping in the bedroom. I couldn't go to sleep. And the last thing I heard go off was at like 11:30. Select Pet, what's up? I think a lot of people are trying to blow off steam, by the way, with the fireworks deal. And we've all been cooped up. Unless, of course, you're in Florida. Joking, Tampa Tom. Now, you sell fireworks, Bob Kaler, or you just go out and get a great deal? Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going out. Small Fry Aquatics, what's up? Welcome to the fish room. Welcome to the Monday Night Live stream. So the process of secrets for the fish room is that some secrets are, are just going in. For instance, like there's a good reason why I do not have automatic feeders. Is that, I was shipping out fish today. So last night, I fed the Guppies baby brine shrimp, and they didn't get any fish they didn't get any food until I packed up the fish to go out in today's shipment, which was about. I got home a little after 2. I left the house before 3, so it was. They were almost 24 hours without. 24 hours without food, which is fine. You want the idea that they're doing well. Let's see here. I'm watching the live stream while listening to the Doors. The end in the background. I think it's working like weed. You see, there you go. And by the way, listening to the Doors while watching the live stream and watching my mouth move, it's all good. All good in the neighborhood, my friends. All good in the neighborhood. It's I hate to say this because I think we all grew up, at least anybody over the age of 40 grew up watching The Wizard of Oz. And The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. That's pretty good. So thanks for giving me a music reference, Doug Gray. I've never done it. I feel bad about it. Lumpy dog. Bolo for president. Hey, Susan. What's up? How are you? Great having you here. So, my fish room secret of the day is that I have actually a fish room confession. So, I got a brand new rebuilding our brand. What's up, Melvin? I got a new Marineland 220 when I moved in here, and it wasn't working well, but I hadn't quite replaced it yet. Marineland was really kind to send me a replacement. It finally died, so I replaced it. Let me tell you something. My drink of the hour. Give me a moment. Is that it croaked finally, so I replaced it. Let me tell you about replacing the filters and all that sort of stuff. I swear to you, I dumped a gallon of water on my carpet. So great. All right. Tonight I'm enjoying a wonderful water. Water is it makes up 80% of the world. And that's why I drink Dasani. Dasani water is as fresh as a mountain brook. It's as fresh as the water from the Rockies. That is amazing. Amazing and fresh. Dasani, the official water of the Mobb Guppy Fishroom. Until I get another thing in here, and I'm hoping someone's going to come up and start, write me a check, because that's a pretty good commercial there. Dasani. If you were Dasani, wouldn't you want that as your plug? I would hope so. Coke's corporate tack water. Damn right. Good for them. Yeah, the Marineland 220. Yep, select bet. Absolutely. Absolutely. Small Fry Aquatics needs a red wine sponsor. It's funny. I like wine, but I'm paranoid about getting wine because, you sort of have to polish off the bottle in a couple of days. And I'm not that active of a drinker. I have in the house right now on the booze front, and again, I have a bottle of Woodford Reserve bourbon, and I have some beer. But again, it's just like it'll take forever for that to disappear. I'm not a big drinker. So I had a local bottling owner tell me that the reason water is bottled multiple locations that it doesn't cross state lines, water doesn't have to pass inspections. Well, you see, there you go. They essentially what they're doing is if you have a reverse osmosis system, that's what they're doing with your bottled water. In fact, let me read here. I haven't even read this, but let's look. Purified water, magnesium sulfate, potassium chloride, salt, minerals added for taste, purified in reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis, everybody. You're up for the challenge to bottle out, to hit up that bottle, small fry. I'm glad you are. We need more people just like you. So yeah, I just, you know what I like, but I feel like goofy buying it. Franzia. It's a wine in a box, or Almaden. Big J's Fish Keeper, how are you? Yeah, I'll tell you what. Chewy would be all about reverse osmosis when you play the Ozzy Osbourne records backwards, which they don't have anymore. They don't make records anymore, except they are kind of making a comeback because of those quote unquote DJs. In the clubs, EDM, not my thing. I'd rather see a band live playing music. I don't mind if the band has, the ones and twos in the background. Just want to see music. Hey, thanks, Susan. Please lurk. Lurking is highly encouraged in the Mobb Guppy live stream. Quite frankly, I lurk a lot because, like you guys, I have a lot going on. So today, I was just running like a crazy man. Tomorrow, I have to get a lot done at the office. So I'm going to come home during my lunch break and take Bolo to puppy daycare, which they love. It's Bolo's like their favorite. Yeah, no, that's true. Select bet. Vinyl records outsold CDs. I don't even own a CD player anymore. Mine was stolen. And I have, I probably have 400, 500 CDs. Yeah. It's all good. And by the way, it's CDs have better sound than vinyl. I just started something. There's a lot of people. I have a buddy of mine who's a big audiophile. He has really expensive stereo equipment, real expensive. And he'll argue with you for hours that the sound that comes from a record versus a CD, there's no comparison. 8 tracks. I've heard about those. They ran out of and cassettes disappeared. Absolutely disappeared. So another Fishroom secret that I have is that I prefer to talk to my fish as I feed them. It builds community, and it's just me and the dog and the fish. So, gotta talk to somebody other than you guys. I have Neil Young's replacement for digital media use, but I have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, I'll tell you what, new cars do not have CD players. They were just tomorrow is where they're done with like a 1 week free preview of Sirius, and yeah, and I like music nobody else likes. I like punk. I like blues. I like, you know, roots type music. I like classical music. And good luck finding a station that plays blues all the time. I love listening to the blues. Love it. I think one of the features that I understand about 8-track tapes, David Samsel, is that you could get an 8-track player in your car that had quote unquote quadraphonic sound. Quadraphonic sound. Was that good? I don't know. No idea. Yeah, BB King's Blue Station on Sirius. I just have all these CDs. I mean, I have stacks of CDs. See, there you go, Small Fry Aquatics. Now that's retro. When you put out a 78, that's retro. Jazz standards, that's good. Yeah, I have a 2017 I don't know, it's like a crossover or whatever it is vehicle. It's the Kia Soul, which is like a box. And I love it. The car gets unbelievable great gas mileage. I get 35 to 36 around town with it. Really cool. But of course, I did something no one does. I have a 6-speed. Yeah, I have the hamster car. Absolutely. And it's a 6-speed. So it's you get up and get it running, get it on that freeway. It's all good. But around town, I get like 35, 36 miles per gallon. It's really nice. Sorry for yawning. My neighbor years ago had 8-track players in many rooms of the house, even the boat. So there you go. Where is Chewy? He'd be loving this conversation. Thank goodness I was dry a Subaru. Then again, does anyone really drive a Subaru? They crap out within the life of the car loan. Miles per gallon, yeah. You get around 12 miles per gallon. Yeah, Anthony, I am so cheap, or shall I say thrifty, that I've never had a vehicle that you know guzzles gas. My deal with the Subaru is I just don't see myself ever driving one. I'm sure they're fine. Oh, you know what it's time for? Time for another delicious drink of Dasani water, made with reverse osmosis, just like the water in your fish aquariums, if you have an RO system. You have a Honda, David? Yeah, there you go. I had a couple of Mazdas in a row, and it's I like Mazdas, but this Kia is really nice. I'm pretty happy with it. It's just about 3 years old. Fresh, refreshing. Dasani. The Z gets about 20 miles per gallon on premium. Yeah, it's 4 miles per gallon on racing fuel. There you go. Now that's now do you have you have it all souped up, Doug Gray. You have it with headers and the ram air type of thing. It's just the darn boxer motors. People not turning for the ECU for the modifications they put on the kaboom. Yeah, I had my first new car was a 1989 Mazda pickup, the Z22 or 2200. Yeah, it actually it didn't rust that bad, except someone went and clipped me in like a parking lot, and I had to get a door fixed, and that door began to rust after and I was like young and dumb. I should have gone straight to the people that did the bodywork saying, "Hey, why is this doing this?" The next vehicle I get, I'm gonna get uh, either a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid. Last year the only time my car was broken is that, and it wasn't even really anything really bad. It was the speedometer. An odometer decided to take a hike, and they gave me a plug-in hybrid Optima. Let me tell you something. If you kept the charge on that thing, you were getting 99 miles per gallon. I mean, it was pretty cool. And once you plugged it in, you had about 30 miles on it, so you could go back and forth to work a couple of times before having to plug it in again. I liked it a whole lot. So, and it was really sweet because I got my first fish when I started repopulating the Fishroom. I went up to Kansas City to a fish club auction. Actually, it was a table sale. Went up to a table sale, which is better than an auction. And I went up to the table sale, and guess what? I put on Kansas City. I put about 700 miles on that day. It drove up, did the thing, drove back, and put the fish in the aquarium. And a lot of those fish I still have, like the super red plecos, uh, 3 albino cories. What else did I get from that one? I got a zebrafish, and I got like 6 zebrafish, and I think, again, this has been a year. So how many do I see here? I got 6, and I think I see like 3. 1, 2. Well, 1, 2, 3. I think I have 4 left. So 4 of the 6. Not bad. Z's the racing version from the factory. Trans Am was all souped up. I used to play drag race on the weekends for years. Yeah, that's why you're getting 4 miles per gallon. Yeah, that's that just drinks away. Absolutely drinks away. Yeah, so I went up there. I got those fish, and it worked out really well for me. Worked out really, really well. Just really good looking fish from that. So when we get together again, begin to have auctions and table sales, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to. It's would like to do the table sale. Do it. Kansas City, also a Little Richard song. Man, Doug. You're just going in. I didn't QT them. I'm lost, Bob Kaler. It's mainly because I did a lot of drugs in my youth. I didn't do a lot of drugs in my youth. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Hey, kids watching, drugs bad. Drugs are bad. Well, public service announcement from Uncle Peter at Mobb Guppy, where the Guppy is the mob. So, so the whole process, of going out and getting, Mr. Mackey reference, absolutely. By the way, I have to go to the Salvation Army or Goodwill. They're about to shut my town down again because we have had, a mushrooming of cases of COVID-19. There you go. David Samsel says, I have a fish secret. The more I learn about fish keeping, reminds me of the many things that I have yet to learn, but learning is a part of the fun. Yeah, no, it's totally part of the fun. And going in and like I'm having with this one aquarium, not having some things work in it. I may just have a diseased aquarium. And I may just have to rip it down, wash it out with a little bit of bleach in there, rinse it out real good, and set up from the beginning. So there you go. Betty used to tune our cars at the track. We were told on the same lap, if we kept the cars that fast, we would need a roll cage, so we lessened the aggression of our tune-ups. There you go. I guess it couldn't make bail. He's already used more than one phone call already. By the way, Chattanooga Ed, he's all in on my tubs for my tub aging thing. He says everybody he knows thinks he's on crack for doing it that way. And he may be on crack, but not for that, not for those reasons. Yeah, I'm not Captain Tech. Like I'm not the guy who's going to take apart a transmission. It's my brother is very much that way. My brother, has rebuilt stuff in his house and all this sort of stuff. It's not my deal. I have to get a guy to hire somebody to come in and do it because it's just not my skill set. I do other things really, really well. And when I learn what those are, I'll pass them on to you. It's the process of going through, it's just insane. Just insane. And by the way, if I grew a beard, I would do the full-on lumber sexual beard that would be, down to my tummy. Except I would think I would look like, how you see occasionally the the folks who are Mennonites or who are Orthodox Jews who have to grow a beard as part of their lifestyle. And and there's sometimes they don't have great looking beards. That's how I think I'd be. I think my beard would look, reasonably unimpressive. I could call it the Missouri version of Gritty, the Flyers mascot. By the way, I was reading something on Gritty, Doug Gray, that he got a makeover by the Queer Eye for the Straight guys. Queer Eye for the Straight guy fellows. They came in and did Gritty a makeover. Now that was good reading. Ro can do your car work. Hey, see, there you go. Yeah, I like having a car that's under, some sort of warranty so I can take it in, have them fix it so I don't have to worry about it. Gritty also did a PSA about playing frisbee alone at the beach. Yeah, nobody likes Gritty. It's hey, you drive safe and thanks for lurking. We love having you here, Anthony. It's all good. It what else is going on in my little world? My entire process here of just getting things done. I've got this big project I need to sort of mostly wrap up this week at the office. And that's with me doing my normal work stuff. So that's not necessarily something I'm that excited about doing. And but you have to do what you have to do, to get things done. And so that's one of the things that I've got to uh, get in order to get things done. I've got to get that junk done this week. They want it done by the middle of next week, and really it means I have to get it done. And my immediate supervisor is on vacation this week. And I don't know about you guys. Normally, when the immediate supervisor's out, that's when I'm able to get more work done. Hey, John Oliver in the house. How are you? We've got to set up how you do your packing. I really liked how you did that. Got to get a saw and that stuff. I'll get that done here and get that all set up. Get that all set up. So that's that's really strong. The other thing that again, it's just I've got to stop by, and I've been wanting to do this for about a week, and I guess I'm gonna have to stop by maybe tomorrow on the way home. Is stop by the good people at one of the flooring companies and see if I can get a bid and get that all done. So when I get my sweet stimulus check, I can spend it on moment one on flooring. I'll take you up on that, John. I'm gonna go pick up a saw and get that. I was over at Home Depot and saw the deal there, and yeah, I like it. I like it a whole lot. So I'll get with you on that, and then I'm gonna go spend a day sawing. What are you doing? I'm doing some sawing. How about you? Yeah, it's all good. So the good news is the fireworks are done in my neighborhood because my hamlet of suburban Joplin, and if you say Joplin doesn't have suburbs, well, you're truly wrong. My hamlet, they have made fireworks shooting off illegal starting today. And the good news is everybody in my neighborhood is a cop. Not everybody, but I mean, there's like 4 cops in the neighborhood. So, if they're going to hear it, it's, the cops going to go out and start tasering people. Yeah, trust me, Doug Ray, I'll be very careful with the saw. Very careful. Because it's, hey, less felonies in a month. Strong, Bob. Oh, you know what time it is? Hi, it's Mobb Guppy for Dasani Water. It's a busy day in the fish room. Hot. And I'll tell you what, sometimes you need some of the solid water you can only get from one place. Dasani. Amazing Dasani water. Again, I don't know why they haven't signed up yet. I have no idea. I've made the reverse osmosis joke. I've done all that sort of stuff. One would think they would be all in on having me there. Yeah, I've heard that too, and here's the deal. I'm such a klutz. I'm such an amazing klutz that I'm not going to be doing that. Ooh, a citation, Bob Kaler. And for not having felonies. Or having less felonies. I think that's great. The biggest legal trouble I got into, and again, it's Fishroom secrets. When I was in college in California, my dad and my uncle, with a business partner, they had a business, and they made redwood and plexiglass signs for businesses. And so the secret was this. My dad and my uncle wanted out because their business partner, wasn't doing what he needed to do to keep this going. So my dad said, "Hey, I need you to deliver a couple of signs." And this is from Sacramento, and this is up to Clear Lake, California, which is near Ukiah, so it's way up there. It's like 180 miles. And yeah, you see, there you go. Ooh, you got Griffin a sponsorship from Butterball. Yeah, no, hook me up with my Dasani sponsorship. It's here I am. I'm a good role model. I keep fish. I have a small sissy dog. It's currently in the bedroom sleeping. I'm like the perfect person anyone would ever want. Yeah, I have the much coveted aqua door. Yeah, soon as they allow people to move around, I think we're past this COVID-19 thing. I'll have somebody paint it, and I'm gonna paint it the same color the garage door is painted, which is kind of an off green, not quite olive, but it's a nice green. So yeah, my aqua blue door is perhaps horrible. Griffin Fishroom, welcome to the live stream. Great having you here. So driving these signs up, it was on a company vehicle, which was an old Datsun truck. It was old. And so I delivered the first sign, and I was driving to deliver the second one. And the second one was sort of latched in on the top of the truck, and it fell off. It fell off with like 3 miles to go in a 190-mile trip. So the cops show up, and they write me a ticket for having an unsecured load. And the ticket was severe enough that I had to go to court for it. So I go to court on my own. I'm like 18 years old, 19 years old. And this is sort of in backwoods California. This is sort of like the Appalachia of California. This ain't Hollywood. So I go in and I have my, my suit on. And besides the judge and the attorney there, I was the only person in a suit. So I go in. My uncle, who had a different last name, wrote a letter to the court saying that I was a freelance employee, that I was really not on the payroll of the company. I was just hired for a one-day thing to do this project, and that I was not in charge of packing the vehicle. All I was in charge of is going and delivering. So the judge looked at me, and well, there were 13 guys in front of me being charged, hearing their charges for cockfighting. They had fighting chickens. So I get up there wearing a suit. Judge reads the note and he goes, okay, I'll drop charges. So the prosecutor wrote a note to my uncle demanding he go to court. And he wrote back, he goes, I didn't pack the trunk. I'm the president. That was his line. So, yeah, it was all good. Vinny, the mooch, one of these days you're going to be here on time, and I'm going to love it. Absolutely going to love it. Now, Griffin, are you in also in Chattanooga? In the Chattanooga area? And by the way, I was not denigrating or disparaging Appalachia. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. But, oh, Kentucky. Okay. But I will tell you, California has this reputation, for for all this glamour and all this stuff. If you've spent any time, especially in the Central Valley of California, nothing glamorous about Bakersfield, nothing glamorous about Fresno. And probably the biggest dump in California is a place called Stockton. Stockton. And which seems to have more shootings than jobs. I mean, it's a heck of a place. They were a stockyard originally, called Stockton. Clever. And I don't know. I think it was mainly a lot of mismanagement that took that city out. A lot of these towns that fall apart is because of mismanagement. They have either city leaders who are not ambitious, or they're way doggone too ambitious. And they, it's like the Simpsons episode of the monorail, so where Homer is the monorail driver. Yeah. The Music Man. The Music Man. So that's part of the deal. Part of the deal all the way around. Oh, your brother lives in Stockton? Now that's funny. And tell me I'm lying about Stockton, by the way. Tell me I am lying about Stockton. It is. It's a dump. Sacramento, I lived in Sacramento for a few years, and I like Sacramento. And, but, Sacramento has some real nice places to it and all that sort of stuff. Excellent. Great to have you here, Susan. Thanks for lurking along with us. Hat Trick Farm, welcome to the live stream. Excellent, Benny. Well, have fun with your horses. One of my horses I own a share in, Daddy's Joy. She raced in December and did terribly. And then, they said that she was having all sorts of like bruising type stuff. It got to be with her that I sort of thought, okay, I'm never going to get a penny back of this investment. No, she's back at work and she's beginning to look really good. So, maybe that'll pay off. And, I'll at least break even on the deal or come close. You know what? It's just don't think of California as necessarily that sophisticated. If I won like a gazillion dollars, the place I would live is Monterey, California. Monterey. But I'd have to wait. If you won the lottery, a couple $100 million, because California is so freaking greedy, they'd be after every penny. I'd have to wait like a year before going to Monterey. Yep, the horse business. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not going to move back to Hoboken. Hoboken, though, is a happening place. That's a great place. Great restaurants, great bars. If there wasn't COVID, very good. Oh, my goodness. You're over the ocean, Susan. It's absolutely one of the more beautiful places in the world. You're right on the ocean. You're south of the Bay Area by about an hour. It is Monterey, California. If I had the dough, that's where I would go. I mean, just not a question. I mean, it is. I would much rather be there than obviously Florida. God bless my Florida people. It's just, it's, and they also have the Monterey Aquarium is pretty sweet. It's been a few years since I've been there, but every time I've gone, it has grown exponentially. Growing exponentially. So I like that a whole lot. And so it's a neat place to go through. Your stepson's girlfriend live in Los Angeles. Yeah, my brother lives in Los Angeles. My sister lived in Los Angeles. Anthony's of Anthony's Fishy Friends. He lives in Los Angeles. No one wants to live in Los Angeles. Doug won't share his guppies with Anthony. That's sad. Right? You don't like him he's from California? Is that the deal is? Guess who just walked in, but then he walked back out? Bolo walked in. I saw a Bolo appearance, but he walked back. He walked back to his place that he's been sort of hanging out at. Oh, he's drinking water. I can hear him lap up the water. Yeah, it got to 92 here today. Let's see what it is now. Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
90, it's cooling down. Really nice. Yeah, everybody wants out of California. Los Angeles is just incredible. So my sister was living up in Westlake Village, which is north of downtown. My brother is living south of downtown. Really, when everything is said and done, it's about without traffic, it's about a 20, 25-minute drive. And my sister and my dad was still living at this point, was living with my sister, and my sister's husband's on the road a lot. So, and my sister, I could tell, was a little frustrated because it's just, my dad had dementia, and and could be, is going from there. He's sort of pacing. He's now laying in front of me on the ground, looking up here like this. Hey, Bolo. Because he's not hearing a thing. Mr. B's fishing things. Demands have been met. Yes. I'll tell you what, having a deaf dog around Mogadishu level fireworks is not a bad thing. He slept like a baby. Yeah, we had a couple of showers in the last couple of days, Susan. Yeah, it dropped down to a real nice temps. I'm in favor of that. It's getting down to like 69 or something like that tonight, so I like that a whole lot. I like that. So my sister was frustrated, because she's at home alone with dad dementia, that sort of stuff. And I sat there and to my brother, I said, well, after work, why don't you drive over to to Westlake Village, pick up dad. My brother lives in Los Alamitos. And pick up dad and take him out for a burger. He loves a burger. Take him out for a nice burger. And maybe you can go to go hit a bucket of balls. He'll sit and watch you do a bucket of balls. They'll be good for him. And my brother goes, yeah, here's the problem. He goes, by the time we would get there, it would be, if everything went well, if we left at 5:30, if it went well, I would be there by about 7:15. But more than likely be after 8:30, and he ain't going out. He wants to eat by then. Okay, well, very good. I just want a few different strains of guppies. And those Roebuck Reds, yeah, let me tell you what, they're gorgeous. Doug Gray has the best. Mine are pretty good too, but Doug's sort of the guy. Other than Luke Roebuck, who has passed away, of course. He's dead. But his guppies live on. So Bolo's now playing with one of his toys. He just carried it off with him. So he carried it over. Now he's drinking water. So I'm listening to he'll lick up water. So. Big City Bettas, how are you? Welcome to the live stream. We are doing great. Talking a little bit about Fishroom secrets, all that sort of stuff. All good. All good. Secrets, Joseph. Talking about Fishroom secrets. I gave up the secret of how I prepare water for changing out. It's just a weird thing that I do. Everyone seems to have an opinion on it. Either they think it's a good idea, or they go, wow, why don't you just get a python and be over with it? It's okay. I can handle it. I'm probably gonna have to do a Python thing anyways because I have a lot of stuff. And I'm looking at yeah, it's just it's all good. Let me. Oh, by the way, the official liquid of the Mobb Guppy live stream tonight is Dasani. Dasani. It comes with reverse osmosis water, which many people in the fish aquarium hobby know makes the best water for your fish. Has essential minerals added for taste. I'll just tell you, I love it. You get a powerful thirst in the fish room. You can only quench it with Dasani. They need to send me a check for that type of goodness. Did I make you want a Dasani water? That's all I need to know. Let's see here. Yeah. Hey, Jan, how are you? Yeah, I'll tell you what. Everyone's like punking on me, and they're probably right. It's probably what I have to do. You'd like a Blue Moon beer, Doug Gray? They have a pretty good microbrewery in Kansas City called Boulevard, and I like a Blue Moon. That's nice, tasty beer. But they have one that's a stout called Dark Truth. Yeah, it's a revelation. It's really good. Yeah, H2O for Susan. Are you enjoying a delicious Dasani water? Yeah, it's so refreshing as you spend time in the fish room. Really is. So I'm gonna get. It's my time to move on. I know Bob Steenfot is up shortly. Thank you guys for being here. I've got to feed some guppies some live baby brine shrimp and play with a small dog and get ready to go to bed because I go to bed in an hour from now. That's how exciting I am. Anybody wants to say whatever they want about me, they can't say that I'm not that exciting. All right. Thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great one. God bless and stay with the mob.